Welcome Hats campers. This is the pre-camp out video for the Hats Wilderness First Aid Adventure. That's going to be happening on February 28th to March 2nd. We're your director team. My name is Annika and this is my dad Charles.
Now in all Hats campouts, we do things that are fun, like canoeing, kayaking, rock climbing. And this camp out is going to be a lot of fun too, actually. You might be surprised at first it could be this fun, but it will be, we guarantee. But that is because all Hats campouts have a deeper meaning to the things we do, because our organization is mission oriented. So Annika, what's the Hats mission?
Growing relationships, communication, and leadership through adventures with our dads.
That's right. And each of our campouts also has a theme. So what is the theme for this campout?
Safety starts with me.
There you go. This campout will take place at the Landers Ranch near Non, Oklahoma, and we do have a map for you in your packet and later in this presentation as well. It's an awesome ranch. It's heavily wooded. It's got a pond. It's really beautiful. And one of the things we like about it is that we've got a barn-dominium covered space that we can use to keep us out of the weather. If it's raining or super cold, we'll be inside for most of the instruction. So that's a really nice aspect of this particular campout. You already know us as your directors, Charles and Annika Triplet, and we've got an amazing group of instructors from the medical field that are teaching the actual first aid and CPR, and that is the one and only John Biedebach. He actually founded and ran this wilderness first aid program for many years, and he started out as an EMT. He's now a registered nurse as well. He's got tons of experience in the field. We also have Audrey Barlow, who is a Hats girl. She came up through the program. She's now an RN also, and she works in an intensive care unit. We also have Dr. Mark McKenzie and his daughter Kirsten. Mark is a cardiologist, and he's got a ton of experience in the medical field as well. They're all experienced instructors, and they keep it entertaining as well. They'll tell some funny stories that'll really help you remember the information. And I guarantee that even if you've been certified in first aid somewhere else, you are going to learn stuff that you did not know before.
So, although we only show up at Landers Ranch on Friday, the adventure does start now. We highly recommend that dad and student watch this video, so that way you can start planning now, start planning ahead. You never want to plan last minute, pack last minute.
Make sure you read through your packet and make sure that you got all your gear. Most of you are experienced campers by now, but the included gear list in the packet should help. So what this camp out will look like. We've got an 8 p.m. start on Friday. We want to give you plenty of time to get there. It is a bit of a drive, about 2.5 to 3 hours from Plano or the Metroplex, depending on where you are. So on Friday night, we're going to start about 8 p.m. and it is important that you be there by then. If you're not going to be there, please let us know. There's a lot of information that we cover on Friday. We will talk about our Hats safety protocol and orient you to what you're going to be learning for the rest of the weekend. And it's a pretty entertaining session on Friday night, actually. You will we'll break at about 10 p.m. and we'll give you an overview of what to expect the next day and then let you go back to your tents. On Saturday, we're going to have a 7 a.m. wake-up call, and we will get started with Circle Up at 8. And in our morning sessions, we will probably be in 2 groups. We'll cover CPR and AED, and environmental aid. We'll break for lunch, and you can eat there in the barn, or you can go back to your tents. In the afternoon, we will circle back up, and we'll have some games to get your blood flowing again. And we will cover a couple more sessions on bleeding, burns, and trauma. Then there'll be a little bit of a break, and then we'll start dinner. At dinner at Wilderness First Aid, we also share first aid stories, things that have happened on HATS campouts, and those will be entertaining as well. On Sunday, we'll start with 7 a.m. wake-up call and 8 a.m. circle up, and we'll go through a lot of the things we do on all our HATS campouts. We will have exercises, we'll do games, we will have the final exam to make sure that you've got this information down, and we'll do our breakout questions and wrap up, and then at 11:30 we will break camp.
Alright, so at this point we know that y'all are pretty experienced campers and you've got your own gear and you know how to pack that, you know what to bring. Just make sure you bring enough water for yourself if you're a dad and a student, or maybe even two students. You know how much water you need on these campouts. Bring your 8-pound bag of self-lighting charcoal and firewood, because we will be having a fire. We will be having a campfire. And make sure to bring any inhalers, EpiPens, meds, and other personal safety items. After all, this is a safety campout.
So, adventure-specific gear. As I said, we will have most of our sessions in a covered barn, which is really nice. It's just a bare concrete floor, so we will want you to bring your camp chairs and a small table that you can put your book and water bottle and supplies on. Bring your leadership guidebook, which you should already have from going through WLA. And in this campout, we are going to give you a first aid book and a fully stocked first aid kit with supplies. You've all seen us carry those on HATS campouts. So you'll get your own, and you will be able to be the safety team on a HATS campout once you've been through this campout.
So at the time of filming, we're too far out to accurately be able to tell what the weather is going to be for this campout. But at this location, we have had cold weather and wet weather and cold and wet weather at the same time. So just in case, make sure that you bring your gear that you need for cold and or wet weather. You know what you need. These are some good tips if you need any. And if you have any extra questions, you can ask us. We will be sending out a more in-depth weather report the Thursday night email.
Directions to Steve Lander's Double Diamond Ranch. We do have this in the packet for you, and in the packet it actually has the GPS coordinates, and I do recommend that you use that. That's real helpful, and it will take you right there if you put the GPS coordinates into your phone. But the map is helpful too, especially if you get in an area where you can't get anything downloading on your phone. But basically, you're just going to go straight up 75 until you hit Atoka in Oklahoma, and then you go left. Once you're in Atoka is when it's a good idea to kind of double check the directions that you're getting off your phone with this map that you're seeing right here. It is about 2.5 hours minimum drive from the Metroplex, and that can vary greatly depending on traffic. These are not major highways. These are small highways up in Oklahoma. So I can't recommend strongly enough using the GPS coordinates. I think that's the best way to get there. And of course, if you're having any trouble, you can text us while you're on the way.
So, as you guys know, we've got our non-negotiables. A lot of these are made to benefit the HATS mission, and they're also for safety reasons. Right now, instead of going through the full list, we just have these four most important ones. That's going to be the 18-inch rule, no electronics, no alcohol, and no leaving early without letting a red hat know.
We are excited, and we hope you're excited about this upcoming Wilderness First Aid Weekend. You know, Annika and I are both certified Red Cross first aid and CPR instructors, and yet every single time we take this, and we've done it I think about 12 times now, we learn new things from our medical instructors that we didn't know. So it's a really great camp out. We give you a lot of knowledge, and of course after this camp out you will be qualified to be the safety team on any HATS camp out. So our goal is to give you the knowledge, the tools and resources, and the practice and experience that you need to have the confidence to respond effectively to emergency situations on HATS adventures. And with that confidence, we'll all be able to work together to lead successful HATS adventures. So I'm thankful to each of you for taking the time to come to this camp out, and I'm thankful for you all. We look forward to seeing you on Friday evening.